Hello.
Hello?
Well, of course it is.
Hello, there we go. Now we're back.
Hello. Oh, there we go.
Hello, welcome in, Stacy Joanne. Good to see you're finally done with whatever you were doing before. Ah, yes. I am now finished, and it's time to stream. Quasimodo Football, are you here?
Yes.
Hello, Quasimodo. I'm glad I can make you Quasimodo Football.
Me too.
The song is banging.
Hey, can you hide the screen just for a second so I can turn you down?
Yes. Hey, Stick Mom, welcome in. I'm eating an apple. What is wrong with your clock? Oops. Thank you for pointing that out, Stacy. What day is it? Hold on. It's my clock. My clock should be opening soon.
We did a whoop papa, we papa papa ba da boo, la pa ba da pa ba pa 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 ba da pa.
There we go. It is October 2nd at 10:22 p.m. Thanks for helping out with that, Stacy.
So what are we doing today?
Some good old Twisted Wonderland.
We have 3 days.
What?
We have 3 days left to do this, to read the last 3 chapters.
How many days? How what? How long?
3 more days until the 5th.
Okay, so we gotta read a lot, huh?
Yep. Okay, so where we last left off, they're in this magical theme park. It looks like this. They enter here, and they decided they wanted to do each different things, so they split up. So we can either join the looking at fish aquarium, riding rides, or doing the shoot 'em up place. Where would you like to go?
Shoot 'em up. Shoot 'em up place.
Yes, but what does Bob say? CB1.
Bob says fish people.
I agree with that old guy's choice.
The domicile of destruction.
Yes.
Also known as Home Sweet Home. Quite fired up. Playful Land, Gentle Plaza. Okay, so our group will be sticking mainly.
Aoi Shota.
What?
Aoi Shota. From
yeah.
Apple.
Sorry. Okay. Our group will be sticking mainly to the game area. Vil
Nice
Schoenheit,
face.
Floyd Leach, and Jay Leach. I hope today will be fun.
Thank you, Stacy.
I'm sorry. Excuse me.
I'm sure it will be, considering we have the pleasure of your company and an entire amusement park to explore.
I'm surprised you're even in this group. Jade, I figured you'd go straight for the thrill rides with Krabby. You're big into stuff when you can't see what's ahead. Got no idea what's gonna happen next.
You're not wrong, but there's something nearby that's piqued my interest. So I'd like to stay with this group for a while. I can always ride the roller coaster after the show's over.
Personally, I'm actually more surprised you joined us, Floyd. Seconded. I thought that if anyone here'd go for the action-packed rides, it would have been you. I do like shooting up in the air and dropping back down. But that ride's based on going through a whale's stomach, right? Whales ain't nothing new to me. I'd rather do stuff you can only do here in Land. Places for practicing marksmanship are pretty common at carnivals and theme parks, I thought. Yeah, about that. So I looked up stuff about this park last night, and someone posted pictures of the attraction on Magicam. And I ain't never seen anything like that before. Kind of rules. Oh, really? Yes. I'm looking it up online now. And I see what you're referring to. It certainly looks unique. What fun! What about you, Valjeanite? Is there anywhere you'd like to go? Or anything you'd recommend doing in a theme park? I'm not familiar enough with them to make recommendations. I went to one with my dad when I was a kid. But by the time I started middle school, I was so swamped with work that I didn't have time for this sort of thing.
Why does he have a slight British accent when he goes to work?
That's what happens.
Oh, really?
I'll be happy as long as I go to see the show. So let's focus on the things you all want to do. Sweet. We can start by hitting up the game area. Playful Land, Domicile of Destruction.
Hey.
So can you look up the picture of, like, the thing in Pinocchio when they're all, like, destroying the thing?
What do you mean?
Can you there was a little scene when they all were exploring the theme park for a little bit. I mean, when they first got there, and there was, like, it showed a bit of them destroying a big old building.
How do I find that?
Here, let me look it up. Well, I found a picture. Wait, it's like, I searched Pinocchio destroying building, and it was like the third picture that shows up. But there's also all these other weird things. I'm trying to get a more exact thing.
I'll be right back.
Okay.
Put somebody in a dog.
He gone. I was gone. I'm back now.
Search up Pinocchio Pleasure Island on YouTube, and it has 178,000 views. And then go to about 57 seconds in, and then show the picture on stream.
What is it?
There's a video on YouTube called Pinocchio 1940 Pleasure Island by CC Cinematic Clips with 178,000 views.
Ah, I found it. And then?
Go to 57 seconds in.
Oh, that?
Yeah, you see it? Show it
Yeah.
on screen. Show it on stream.
Should I be able to see it yet?
No.
It's open for destruction.
And then push play.
He's getting on
Look at that.
I see.
I don't see it. I don't see it.
On the stream, not on Discord.
Oh, hold on. Bless you.
Back.
Hey,
Back it up a little.
Throw-in. Welcome in.
Oh,
Oh,
hey,
God,
Throw-in.
Stacy is a monster. Oh, now Stacy's sad. No. Don't believe him,
Mods
Stacy. Don't
ban
listen to the lies.
Throw-in for 55 seconds. So, did you see it, that old guy?
I saw this one guy standing there adjusting his tie.
No.
And it's all yours, boys. It's all yours.
See, and they're destroying it.
I don't see a moving thing at all.
Destruction.
What? Are you looking at the
All yours,
stream?
boys. It's all yours.
The Christmas Bob one stream?
Oh, finally! I didn't have it open. But now I have it. So, yes, I saw the burning building.
And they're all destroying it.
Yeah. Oh my
And
goodness.
see what it looks like. And then when we go back to the game,
It looks just like it.
yeah.
Nice.
So see, I didn't know that when I first played this event last year.
Big
So-
sad. No. Big happy. Like that.
Okay, Thurlin apologized. We can unban him.
Okay. I'm kidding, Stacy. Nice.
But I can throw the chancla at him.
Oh. Yeah, he deserves it.
Okay, here we go.
Oh, rude, he says.
We're here. Everything in front of us is in the gaming area. The white building there must be where we can get to do some target practice.
He's really having trouble delivering this line. Target practice.
Sorry.
Hi, Chub.
That's a rather lovely building. Pristine white walls, intricate sculptures, a large stained glass window. It looks more like a model home than a place to play games. I trust the interior will be just as impressive. Shall we go in and see? I'm afraid to say your assumption is incorrect, Phil Shonite. We won't be doing target practice in that building. We'll be doing it on that building. What does that mean? Oh, I see the sign with a name now.
Low Dad, yes. You saw it.
Domicile of Destruction? You don't mean...
Come on! Take a gander at this beautiful house, ready to be busted up. Visitors are free to do whatever they want to it.
That staff puppet over there is offering a rather curious description.
Are you saying that building itself is meant to be to the target? Yep. From what I saw in the images online, that's the deal. Check out the stained glass. The blue parts are worth 50 points if you break them. Smaller pink bits are 100 points. Columns and hedges are worth 10 points, and sculptures are worth 20. So your score depends on which part of the house you destroy.
What a grandiose attraction. What do they do after people destroy it?
They use a combination of magic and manual labor to put it all back together before the next visitors arrive.
Oh.
For real? Dude, that's so much work. That's seriously hilarious. There's more on the bottom part of the sign.
It's Floyd, my nemesis, says Stacy. He's here. He's here to have fun in an amusement park. And now he is voiced by that old guy.
The Domicile of Destruction was designed to replicate an attraction from the amusement park the wooden puppet visited.
I know who the wooden puppet is.
Me too.
Interesting. The story I read didn't go into detail about that park, but it must have been a strange one.
What are
I
Vil?
suppose.
What are Vil? What do you think, that old guy? Oh, looks like she sent the message too early. Vil's pronouns.
He, him.
Thank you.
But in Japanese, there's, if you've ever heard of the way to say like I am, is watashi, and a kind of more feminine way to say watashi is dropping the W at the beginning. So it's atashi, and in Japanese, Vil uses atashi. So not only girls use it, but it's more of a feminine way to say it. But in translated things and everything, it's he, him.
And Vil is based on...
If you know Snow White, the evil queen, mirror, mirror on the wall, who's the fairest of them all? That's Vil, but twisted from the evil queen.
Stacey said, "Shut up! I entered it too quickly. I got to call you out for it." And then once Stacey found out, she said, "Okay, yeah, smash. I mean, smash regardless. I just wanted to check." That's so valid, Stacey. That's so valid to feel that way. Fash just so smart. Fash, you got a compliment.
Oh, thank you, Stacey.
And she said. Oh. Yep.
Yeah. In the Twisted Wonderland universe, Bill is like a very famous supermodel. Like millions of followers on their equivalent of Instagram, and yeah, lots of fans.
I see. Cute. Ignore W. Dang, Stacey with all the typos today. What's with the W? Q2.
Did you read this line already?
No, but give me just a sec.
He has to like get in character. I am not good today. It happened. We all have those days, Stacy. Sorry, I am distracting.
I suppose.
How could you, Stacy? How dare you distract?
I suppose one could think of it as a filming set in an action movie. In those, every structure is built to be destroyed in the most beautiful, spectacular, and aesthetically pleasing way possible. Yeah, you don't find a target this massive anywhere else, right? Just Playful Land.
It does seem rather engaging.
Oh, what's that puppet passing out everyone at the entrance? Passing out to everyone at the entrance. Ah, they're toy slingshots. I guess we're supposed to use them to destroy that building.
That's a small thing to use.
This is a lot different from the kind of target practice I imagined, which makes it seem like a lot of fun.
They're gonna shoot Angry Birds at it.
Hey, how about a little friendly competition? Whoever scores the highest can issue any one command to the others they want. Oh, I'm game. It's always more interesting with stakes involved. I don't know. It ain't gonna be much of a competition with you lot. It'll be boring to crush you guys. Oh, those are some pretty big words. I'm gonna make you eat later. Yeah, I said it weird. This will be my first time doing this kind of exercise, but my brother and I have played a lot of video games based on a similar concept.
Gamer.
Not to mention, I'm pretty good at strategy.
You all seem quite fired up. I hope you go easy on me.
How are they gonna do it? Sterling says phone is about to die, but we improvise using Twitch on the PC while gaming. Hey, I appreciate you still watching despite your phone about to die. Thanks, Sterling.
Yeah.
Still watching.
He was too busy playing darts and chess on Game Pigeon.
Ah, yes. It happens.
Don't start the next thing. I'm going to get my laptop as well. So I can be really connected.
Now we're busy playing World of Warcraft. Nice. Make sure do lots of winning.
Lots of winning. Well, of course. Is there any other?
Mm-hmm.
I'm back. Trollan said, now we're busy playing World of Warcraft. Let's go. Have fun, Trollan. And I'll try. Must have been responding to something faster. Said I'll try, but no promises on that.
I told him to get some win.
I'll get some wins. You got this. You got this, Trollan.
Bum, 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 bum.
I wonder what's gonna get out of
What's
hand.
What's this chapter called?
Getting out of hand. Discord.
What about Discord?
Actually, not even Discord. I'm trying to open up Twitch so I can watch it on my laptop. I guess I'll do it after the next story. Continue.
Where is it taking place?
Domicile of Destruction. Here I go.
No.
Oh, I missed again. Those rubber balls barely get any distance. I'm not having any more luck than you.
Likewise.
You guys all suck. Pathetic. You've got no room to talk. Most of your rubber balls landed at your feet.
Oh.
Oh, yeah? Still doing better than you, Betta.
You both look like you're in the same boat from where I'm standing.
I'm pretty sure arguing about it is only making matters worse. I've gotten some points with big targets like flower pots and columns, but nobody's broken the stained glass yet.
The stained glass is so high up, it seems quite impossible to hit it with these slingshots.
Not for me, it isn't. Watch this.
Oh.
Yeah, swing and a miss. That's 9 whiffs in a row. Man, the rubber sling on this is all soft because it's just a toy. It's off center, too. All the random wobbling means I can't calculate its potential energy. The balls don't fly like my simulations say they should. No, I'm getting salty. Wonder if I can make something happen with this brick I just found lying around.
What?
Make something happen? You're not seriously talking about throwing bricks through a stained glass window?
It does hardly seem fair to use such a large weapon. Perhaps I could use magic instead?
Seriously? If you're doing that, I want to blow the whole building up with beam fire. This is getting out of hand. What happened to competing to get the highest score? Playful Land, Gentle Plaza.
Among Us.
Turns out we're all equally terrible with slingshots. We couldn't even declare a definitive winner among us.
Tuck, 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 tuck.
Yo.
But couldn't lose at the end was a nice outlet. Oh, I see someone we know walking over there. Hey, you Grim. You Grim.
You estimate.
What?
He's saying it like if it was one name. It's you, Grim.
Oh, hey. It's Team Ortho.
Greetings. Have you finished eating?
Yep, I was just talking with my aunt human about maybe meeting up with one of the groups.
It's the kitten, Stacy. He showed up just for you. See, he has a little hat and bow on. Just for you. Stick Amethyst. Redeemed hydrate time.
Is that different from Stick Mom?
Yep, it used to be Stick Mom. Now it's Stick Amethyst.
Really?
Yeah, do you see it?
What the?
Send a chat message. Stick Amethyst. There it is.
What the? Where does Amethyst come from?
Got a new identity. Next, Stacy's gonna change it to Stacy Quartz. Birthstone. I figured. What's Stacy's? What's Stacy? What's your birthstone? Stacite. Is Ortho. You don't know your birthstone? Stace! You gotta go find that out. What's the birthstone for December? I don't know, but Fasha probably knows.
It's a nice blue one.
A nice
I don't remember
blue
what
one.
it's called, but it's a blue. Yeah, I got it in my class ring. It's a nice blue color.
Like Ortho?
I forgot what it was called though. Yeah.
Cute. Oh, another W. Stace! What's going on? What's going on with the typos? We can't be having those out here.
This is your line, that old guy.
Hold on.
He's changing his name to Dat Old Gemstone. The December 30th birthstones are the modern December birthstones. Tanzanite, Blue Topaz, Blue Zircon, and Turquoise. You should change your name to Dat Old Turquoise. Cute. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay. Really? Well, you're already here, so come tour the park with us.
Is that old guy also December birthday? Wait,
Yeah, he is.
That old guy is.
Let's go, that old guy. Sharing December birthday with Stacy Joanne. 30th, she asks. Is that
Yes.
correct? Nice.
And mine's is 3
Yes.
days before that.
That'd be amazing if she had the same one.
Uh-huh.
Stacy, your birthday's 1 day after mine? What the heck?
Isn't that crazy?
Birthday relay.
Mm-hmm. It's like the December equivalent of all the stray kids' birthdays in September/October. You're 27th? OMG, amazing birthday squad. Gosh, how's it feel to be a part of the birthday squad?
Okay.
I said,
What's
how
your
does it feel to
answer?
be part of the birthday squad?
Wow,
Oh,
thanks.
It feels pretty epic.
Where are you guys going?
I've been curious about this one building for a while now. Let me guess the round. Black one? Yeah, there's been a big question mark ever since we first came to Gentle Plaza. Huh?
Gentle Plaza, huh?
According to the map, it's another game area like the Domicile of Destruction. Or Domicile, whatever. All it says on the map is a place to enjoy some chic gaming.
It's not far at all. Shall we go see Shall we go see what it's all about?
Ooh, the three-way joint party. Stacy's suggesting. Come on, that would be awesome. You have to have a biggest party. Party that spans the whole ocean.
Yes.
December actually has 3 official birthstones. Turquoise, the classic one, blue-green in color. Tanzanite, a deep blue or violet gemstone, discovered more recently. Blue zircon, a bright, sparkling blue stone not to be confused with cubic zirconia. I always mix those two up. Thanks for the intro, Stick Amethyst. So if someone is born in December, their birthstone is usually shown as turquoise, but it can also be Tanzanite or blue zircon, depending on the preference. What do you choose, Fastra?
Mine's is probably turquoise. That sounds the most familiar.
Nice information, Stick Mom. I mean, Stick Amethyst.
I'm probably still gonna say Stick Mom. What's this chapter called?
Stick Amethyst.
No, it's not.
Baying of Sore Losers, a day most grand. We're here. Close up, you can tell it's not just a solid black building. It's got a big number 8 painted on it. So it's an 8-ball. Perhaps this is a pool hall. Oh, pool! I've heard of that game, but I've never played it. I've only played it for fun a few times myself. What about the rest of you?
I do dabble a bit.
Never played it. We went to a pool hall with Azul once, but I wasn't in the mood for it.
You were quite preoccupied with the dartboard, as I recall.
What about you? Have you ever played pool before? I have. Is that right? You seem rather confident. Are you secretly a pro at it? There aren't exactly any pool halls near our campus. Since we're here, let's play a little. Considering we never got a decisive outcome at the Domicile of Destruction, what if we start the competition over with pool? Are you certain? I never go easy on others, you know, not even first-timers.
Likewise, it would pain me greatly to make you all cry tears of defeat.
How do you know you won't be the one sobbing after all that's said and done, huh?
Ain't none of you a match for me. Wait until you see my big brain pool maneuvers. Not that I ever played it before, or even know the rules.
I'm in it to win it. Okay, let's play.
Oh?
There are many variants of pool, but I suggest for this match we play using the most prevalent rule set. 8-ball. We're playing the Mastro Lounge theme.
Ah. Nice.
We'll start by racking the balls marked 1 through 15 on the pool table. These balls are divided into 2 groups. The goal of the game is to knock all the balls in a given group into pockets, with the 8-ball going in last. We have 6 players present, and several of them are new, so I suggest we play this in teams.
Thanks for the stretching
One team will
time,
be
stick
Floyd, Grim, and Vil.
Start the line over.
The
'cause
other
I
will be
interrupted.
Floyd, would you please go destroy Christmas Bob 1? One team will be Floyd, Grim, and Vil. The other will be Ortho, you, and myself. I'm sure our newcomers will have trouble even hitting the balls with their cues, but don't worry. Let's focus on enjoying the game. Now, time for the break shot.
Nobody calls it that. Playful Land
Jade.
Pool Hall.
There are fast learners, and then there's
2-ball side pocket. A 5-ball right rear corner pocket. Yay! That's 4 in a row for me. He's too good at this. What's going on? Ortho hasn't missed a single shot since he picked up his cue stick.
what a show of skill. He's landed every shot in the exact location he's called. There were some points where his shot path was obstructed by the other team's balls, but
He cleared those obstacles with jump shots and got his target ball into the pocket anyway. Those aren't moves someone playing the game for the first time could pull off. I'm getting kind of tired of the peanut gallery crowding around. Who is this guy, and is he a bull shark? Imperfect tools made things hard during target practice, but this cue and these balls have no such issues. Ball positions logged, simulating optimal route to pocket. Calculating point of contact, angle of incident, angle of reflection, ball spin rate, and energy. If I make the shot as calculated, 3-ball side pocket.
Killing it.
There, see? Easy as that.
nicely done. You might not even get a turn at this rate. Oh, what a pity that would be.
Yes, a pity indeed. If I could just get a single turn. We're about to lose before we can even play. Right, it's kind of boring when none of the rest of us can play the game.
Yeah, give me a chance to shine.
Oh, but we decided the turn order fair and square with rock, paper, scissors. Is that the baying of sore losers I hear?
Oh.
Sounds like it to me. I think I'll go for the 6-ball next.
Ortho's unstoppable at pool. A Fantastic Four.
We gotta see what Vil says in response to us saying that we have played pool before.
Thanks. Really? Then you're in the same boat I am. There aren't
Okay.
exactly any pool halls near. A fantastic team. A day most grand. Playful Land Pool Hall. I think I'll go for the 6-ball next.
Whoa, Ortho actually missed. About time.
That's a positive development, but what happened there? You'd better not have missed on purpose. Of course I didn't. I would never pull my punches in a game. A bug jumped out in front of the ball.
What?
Oh, there it is. It's hopping all over the pool table. What is it? I think it's a cricket. It seems to be chirping. Come on, little cricket. You can't be up there. You startled me and made me mess up my shot.
Can you believe there's a cricket?
No.
I can't. I mean, why would they bring a weird cricket in? I'm just kidding. I was on track to play a perfect game all the way to the 8-ball and everything. Jude, I'm really sorry. But you were incredible.
Yes, you did quite well. That was a most impressive display of skill, Ortho.
Okay, boys, listen up. If Ortho gets that cue again, we're finished. We need to win this before his turn comes back around. Yeah, okay. Guess I gotta bring my A game for this. Woohoo! We won! Oh man, we lost. Actually, more like we got stomped. Ah.
I was surprised you landed 2 shots your first time playing, Floyd. It's a testament to your skills of observation and comprehension. Phil, your advice was impressively on point as well. Surely you were being modest about your experience before. Sadly, we never got to see you actually pick up a cue and play.
You're calling me modest? You're pretty good yourself. You entered the game before I could even get a turn. Thank goodness for that. You, Jay, good game. The 3 of us made a fantastic team.
Ah, phooey. We lost. Man, why'd I get stuck with the useless ones?
Says the spudling who did nothing but dig divots into the felt surface with his cue. No kidding. Remind me again, who was it that messed up my shot? Because he was pitching a fit about wanting a turn.
Hey, I just remembered. I got somewhere to be. Come on, you. Let's scram.
Wait up, Grim. Man, that was fun and all, but it sucks that I lost. Next time I want to beat Cleon. Is that so? I don't think that's possible. But if you like, how about I take on all of you myself next round? I like that idea. I'll show you what I can really do then.
Grim straight dipped. Apple core. I like apple cores.
You just had one.
Apple
earlier.
fritter.
Yeah.
Apple core flavor. Playful Land Pool Hall. Now, where to next? Say, you haven't mentioned where you want to go yet, Jade Leech. That's where we should head.
You don't mind? In that case, let's follow the road once we step back outside.
Playful Land Bazaar.
The map says it should be around here. Ah, here we are. It's that cart. I wanted to try the food they have on offer.
But it's just plain old popcorn. They have that at every dime a dozen amusement park.
You'd think that, wouldn't you? But this flavor is only available in Playful Land from this very cart. Namely, apple core flavor.
Oh.
So, apple?
No, apple core. They aren't the same at all. Likewise with the flavor. Yes, it's entirely different.
I don't know much about flavors, but do apple cores really taste different from apples? 9 times out of 10, you're better off not taking anything Jade says seriously. I suppose I'll try a piece. It's pleasantly sweet and tart, but it's still just apple flavor.
My. Not even you can appreciate the finer points of this flavorville. What a shame. Apple cores and their seeds apparently contain substances harmful to the human body. So it's interesting they chose that flavor specifically.
Yes, about that.
Dude, don't sneak up on us like that.
Wouldn't surprise me if Bob's never been to the never been to the doctor with the amount of beeping apples he eats. Of course, my apple diet, it saves me from having to go. How did you know I had a lot of apples, Stacy? The concept was inspired by an anecdote in which the friendly fox gives the wooden puppet an apple core as a token of friendship.
Hello again, Ernesto Falworth and Gino.
Never been to the apple. No, you're not supposed to. You weren't supposed to hear that. And then Stacey said, "Because I see you eat one every stream." No, my apple habits are public. Hey, buddy, how are you? Welcome in, Aru. I'm doing pretty good. We're doing some epic stories going on here. How are you? We're all dubbing this
Hey,
Playful Land
Aru.
event, where all the characters of Twisted Wonderland go to an amusement park. Stacy said,
Oh
I'm good.
no.
I'm good, thanks, Aru. How are you? Ayo. And then Aru says, currently dying from a cold. No. I hope it gets better, Mr. Aru. And rest up. Watch some good streams. Play some good video games. And recover swiftly. My voice is deeper than usual. Can you imagine that? That's crazy. It already is so deep.
Hey, Bob. Hey.
Yeah, cold Aru sounds like it would be very, very deep.
Oh.
Did you read it?
I didn't read the previous line. Can you go back? I've never heard that story before. Why an apple core exactly?
Indeed. There must be some deeper meaning to the fact that he gifted only a core rather than a whole apple. Oh, bad time. That's where I get out my keyboard and play the notes, I think. But I'll have to check to see if I... Let me double check. On my tiny keyboard. Let me see if I have it out. If not, I might not be able to do it.
Oh, you found it. I'll go ahead and mute it.
It's out of batteries. It's not
Oh,
turning
no.
on.
How many do you need?
I can do it.
Oh my goodness. 4 double A's. It needs 4 double A batteries to work.
Give me a sec.
Can you hear my piano? I don't hear anything.
Nope.
Wait.
No.
5 double A's. Wow.
Here, bring it up here. Oh, shit.
Oh, thank you, Stacy. I didn't even realize I was doing it.
Oh, ours that faster doing it counts? Oh, it does?
Changed it.
Yeah, but some reason it's not working.
Is your ring
I don't
on?
understand why nothing's coming out. Yeah. Like, it's all the way up.
Is there like some volume setting? Thank you.
Yeah, it says it's all the way up. Whoop, 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 whoop.
All right, I'm about to play it.
Oh.
There we go. The request has been fulfilled. I hope you enjoyed it, Mr. Aru.
There's no like free piano. You know that offends me. There we go.
Mm-hmm. That's the first 4 notes.
Yeah.
Thanks for the redeem, Aru. It's been a long time since that one's been redeemed. Thanks for the applause, Stick Amethyst. Aru said, isn't this supposed to be language learning? WTF is Duolingo cooking. Show him the chess one, Pastra. Show him the chess one.
Oh no. Diddle-doo, diddle-doo. Yeah, they got chess and math. I'll play one more song. I'm not gonna play one more song. Instead, I'm gonna go back to.
Oh,
There we go.
how come?
I messed up. Whee!
Some speculate that perhaps that was his way of saying, I hope you become a good human right down to the core. Gracious, isn't it incredible what depth this tale holds?
Now, I understand. So the gift was a symbolic one. The friendly fox seems very thoughtful.
Here, Floyd. You should try a bite of this popcorn. It's good.
Yeah, no. I eat what I want when I want to eat it. Don't go force feeding me. Whoa, hey, I said nah!
I just took a bite. If you enjoy the popcorn, I should mention they sell candy of the same flavor in the shop over that way. Not to mention all sorts of confectionery. That area is not called Candy Road for nothing. Caramels, lollipops, chewy treats. They've got it all, and no one will scold you no matter how much you eat.
Oh. Interesting. Candy is fun, so to snack on. It might make a good souvenir for my brother. Jade, what is it with you and getting hung up on weird stuff? Also, shouldn't we save the souvenir shopping for last? We got plenty of time before the show. We should hit up more rides and games before we get filling up on candy. Is there anything you'd like to do other than playing games, Ortho? You were quite looking forward to coming to the park, so I'm fine deferring to whatever you'd like to go. There are so many options, it's hard to decide. Oh, wait. Here, I want to go here.
Let's see. Oh, excellent idea. Allow your good friend Ernesto to lead the way.
Where do you think they can go? Place your bets. Place your bets.
To the fish people.
That's a good question. Maybe the circus tent? Ohio! Of course. How could they not go to Ohio?
Sorry to spoil it, but Aru got it right. They go to Ohio in this next chapter. What's this called?
That's noisy.
What's this
That's
chapter
my
called?
order. Playful Land, Gentle Plaza.
The Ohio State Fair looks different. Down in Ohio, swag like Ohio. Let's go, Throlin. We got a real Ohio fan in the chat. Hurry along, scholars! Right this way. If you'll look to your left, you'll see the building you're looking for. There it is! The Toy Maker's Toy Store! Oh, I wouldn't have guessed Toy Store.
So, this is the old toy maker's house. I tagged along since Arthur wanted to go, but what exactly is this place? Looks like a plain old house to me.
Have a look in the window.
There's a fire going in the fireplace. It looks so warm. Every shelf is packed with toys, and there, on the walls, it's lots of clocks.
Oh yeah, the clock. Why don't the rest of you scholars gather round and take a peek too?
What? But the plaque inside, it says to make space for others and admire the interior one person at a time.
Oh, it's fine. You're all special exceptions. Please go right ahead.
Truly? Well, if you say so.
Arthur was right. There are all manner of clocks lining the walls. Let me see this. Whoa! Dang, look at them all. You can hear them tick-tocking from out here.
Might I crowd in for a look as well? Yes, you're right. I see a number of music boxes, too.
Indeed. And you made it just in time for this!
All the clocks started chiming at once. Birds dipping their beaks into water and popping back out, a fly flying out of a flower, a middle-aged man hiccuping.
A fly flying out of a flower?
Why?
A bee flying out of a flower. There's even a clock with a chime. That's a kid getting chastised. Did he do something he shouldn't have?
Do you remember that one?
I hate that one.
Yeah.
I hate that one. That's the first one.
I remember that one.
So they're automaton clocks. Pretty impressive collection of them, too. Right? The old toy maker was really skilled. They didn't just make toys, but lots of music boxes and clocks. The way the story goes, his house was always so cheerful because it was full to bursting with everything he crafted. Then one day, he drew upon all his skill and created a marionette. That was the wooden puppet. So the toy store is supposed to be where the wooden puppet was born. Yeah, in Wish Upon a Star. My favorite parts are the beginning, when the puppet first moves, and the ending, when he becomes a real boy. Both of those things happen at the old toy maker's house, so I wanted to see what it was like.
Oh, yes. Two of the tale's most touching scenes. You simply can't come away from them dry-eyed. I'm rather fond of this place myself. It's just so darn wholesome. Wouldn't you agree, Gino? Mm-hmm.
I get it. Obviously, it's just a set piece, not the real location from the story, but I'm glad I got to see it. Now I can imagine my favorite scenes more vividly than ever.
Wonderful! What a studious young scholar you are. I can see that inviting you to Playful Land was absolutely worthwhile. As it happens, Ortho, I have some good news to share with you. We have something to enhance this experience even further. Here.
What's this? A standee? It depicts the wooden puppet, the old toy maker, the cat, and the goldfish in its bowl. But there are holes cut out where all their faces ought to be. Oh, I don't like where this is going.
This isn't just any standee, but a photo standee. People put their faces in the cutouts to have their picture taken. And just like that, you can embody the characters from the story. At least that's the idea. Go on, everyone. Have at it.
No. Oh, why not? It'd be fun to do together. I'll have no part of any pictures taken with our faces in that cheesy standee. Absolutely not.
Dang.
Yeah, same. I ain't feeling it.
Oh, Ortho just wants to stick his head.
I love this sort of thing, actually. The star role of the wooden puppet should be ceded to Ortho, but I'll gladly take any of the others.
Hear that, guys? Jade Leach is playing along. Come on, let's get a group photo. Dude, we said no already. Why don't you just take the pic with Foxfish and Cat Shark over there?
Ah, but we just work here. We're background characters at most. The real heroes of the story are all of you. Oh.
Oh, you know what? I beat you guys at pool earlier, didn't I? Gart. I landed the most shots, and your team lost to mine, right? And that means I get to order you around. Well, I want all of us to take a group photo with our faces in the standee. That's my order. I said I'd do anything you wanted, and you really gonna waste that precious opportunity on something like this? You're one weird little guy, Cleon. I can hardly go back on my word after making a commitment. Fine, but just this once. I will never, ever stick my face in a ridiculous standee like this again. And to be clear, this is my face we're talking about. You had better be immensely grateful. I see that grin on your face. Jade, I see that grin on your face, Jade. Just so you know, if you show this picture to anyone else, I'll stomp on you. I'm
I
stomping
thought
you. No, I just had it too far away. So now I have it closer. Agreed. No one else should see it, obviously. And this better not find its way online, or I will be extremely cross. Don't worry. I'll ensure it's secured in ironclad encryption. It'll be fine. Right, Jade Leech?
Absolutely. We'll protect it like the precious treasure it is.
Okay, Ernesto Falworth, Gino, take the picture for us, please. Come on, guys. Get ready.
Ah, you all look positively delightful. This will make a fine photo indeed. They all squeezed in. Would you want to take a picture with the standee with Ortho, Fastra?
Yes. Oh, so we finished that area.
What?
So do you want to go to rides or water?
Fish boy.
Yeah, the water one. Yeah, that one.
Not his best moment.
Uh-oh.
Oh, where is it taking place?
I don't know.
Gentle Plaza.
Gentle Plaza.
Whoa, Leona, Jack, here's to an awesome day. Like I was saying earlier, I'd like to visit the sea for a stroll. I'd like to see the stuff in that area myself. Perfect. We're gonna have so much fun. Where would you like to go, Leona?
I'm only tagging along to keep an eye on you kids and make sure you don't do anything I'll regret. Pretend I'm not here.
But that would mean leaving you out. We're at an amusement park. You should enjoy it too.
Oh, don't worry about that. I'm having so much fun just with you guys, I could cry. In fact, I've already had so much fun, we may as well pack it up and leave now.
You and your blatant sarcasm. Oh gosh, really? Thanks. I feel just the same. And I'm with you two. I know I'm gonna have the best time. He's beaming. Good thing Kaleem's so sanguine. Sanguine.
Yep.
What does that word mean? How do you say that word?
Sanguine. It's calm and collected, like Floyd.
He lets your snide remarks roll off him like water off a duck's
Stacy asked
back.
if it was... Sorry. Stacy asked if it was banana chips. Those are here. I'm having something much less healthy this time around. Have you had these before, Stacy? Okay, redo the line because I totally cut you off. Nerd for a nerd! Hey! Nuh-uh. That would only be if you were eating them. Yes, we get them over here. Let's go, Stacy. You know game. You know game.
He lets your snide remarks roll off him like water off a duck's back.
The duck that they're talking about is Stacy.
Rolling off him so much as going right over his head. Anyway,
Let's go find that seafloor stroll or whatever it's called.
Bro, just know you.
Looks like a big attraction on the map, so it'll probably be crowded. We should get in before the line gets too long.
If I give this to you,
Good
will
call.
it be okay, Stacy? Can you repeat it?
Good call. Off we go.
Okay, that's good. Here, you can have a little handful, Stacy.
Playful Land Bazaar.
The entrance should be somewhere around here. Oh, found it! It's that gate. You were right. This is a popular attraction. The line to get in goes for miles.
Really?
That's why someone.
That's why I said to get a move on. Maybe if someone hadn't dawdled on the way over.
But the park goers riding the train waved at me. If someone waves to you, you have to wave back.
Yeah, your waving got other people in on the waving game and it went back and forth forever.
From what I can tell, the train runs in a circuit around the whole park. The map says it got multiple stations, and anyone in the park can use it to get around.
If I hadn't forced you to knock it off, you could have stayed there waving for the rest of your lives. I shudder to imagine that.
Come on, not even I would go that far. I was only gonna give it another 10 minutes or so.
That's still a pretty long time.
Hey, I found Jack's group.
Ah, it's you and Grim. You finished eating, I take it?
Yep, I got me my favorite. A sandwich piled high with big old heaps of tuna. Are you guys going to that seafloor stroll place?
Yeah, we were just about to line up for it. You should join us.
I'd love to.
There's a sign posted on the wall by the entrance. It's got something written on it.
Those glowing gold letters are so pretty. Let's see here. The old toy maker ventured out to sea in search of the wooden puppet. Then... Oh, it's a scene from Wish Upon a Star. The toy maker goes out looking for the wooden puppet, only to get swallowed by a whale and end up stranded far away from home.
1 second.
Wow! What?
I can't even try to replicate your grim voice.
Way to go, Gramps!
You're a Grim.
Best I can do.
Can you do Grim codes?
Wow. Wow. Way to go, Gramps.
Wow! Way to go, Gramps!
Let me try again.
Wow!
Way to go, Gramps!
Perfect.
Yeah, probably not his best moment. The shining star left the puppet a letter explaining what had happened, so the puppet ventured to the seafloor to look for him. This attraction is meant to let you follow in the wooden puppet's footsteps.
Hey, not to interrupt your chat, but the line's moving. Don't hold it up.
Oh, sorry. I'm not used to standing in lines.
You're not?
Nope. Usually when I go to amusement parks, I rent out the whole place for the
Oh
day.
my goodness.
Dang. I guess you really are different from the rest of us.
I finished the nerds. They were good.
AKA the flavorless rocks.
Flavorless rocks?
Yep.
Oh! I didn't see that was the title. I thought you just, like, were calling them that. Dang, it kind of...
Flavorless rocks.
It does... That could describe nerds if someone didn't like them.
Playful Land Bazaar. Looks like we can finally go in. Get your tickets ready, guys.
Right. Huh. They're handing something out to people at the entrance. What's that?
Are those rocks?
Sure are. Just plain old flavorless rocks.
No kidding. Wait, flavorless? Quit going around licking random rocks.
In the story, the wooden puppet ties a rock to his tail. For... what?
Ballast.
For ballast.
It's weight.
I've not heard that word before.
They use it, scuba divers use it to help them not just float back to the surface. It helps them to swim down.
I didn't know that was a thing.
Interesting lore drop codes. Little factoid you got there. Flavor Town. I need a one-way ticket to Flavor Town. Who's coming with? Come on, Throlin.
I'm going.
Hey, Faster's going to Flavor Town.
In the story, the wooden puppet ties a rock to his tail for balance so he can walk on the seafloor. Here, we give everyone a rock for good luck. May you find the whale on your seafloor stroll.
All of us
Throlin
are
says-
going. Let's go, Throlin.
Yippee!
We're gonna have some good eats. It's gonna be amazing.
Sure. Wait, his tail? I don't remember anything about the wooden puppet having a tail.
Wish Upon a Star is an old story with some minor regional variations. He's got a tail in the version where he was carved to look like a beast man.
Oh.
In that body, he had big animal ears and a tail, and he even let out a bray sometimes.
Oh, I getcha. I've never heard that one before.
Yeah, he wasn't a beast man in the version I first heard either.
The sun said Savannah's got a lot of beast folk, so maybe storytellers there made the hero a beast man for more relatability.
Neat. So he ties the rock to his tail. Oh! You guys have tails. What if you tied your rock to them like the wooden puppet did?
Absolutely not.
Absolutely not.
Absolutely not. Hold it. If anyone here needs to worry about the floating over, it's you, Colleen. Keep some ballast rocks in your pants pockets.
Why is Leanna
Are you like
muffled?
doing something? Yeah, are you doing something else that sounds muffled?
Yes,
Oi.
but no longer.
Yamadeo.
Like
If it-
Darth Vader! Or, of course, as Stick Amethyst says, Darth Vader. There we go, now she fixed it. Now Stacy's not the only one making typos.
I'd hate having my tail tied to a rock. Let's just go in.
Well, we're inside, but it's pitch black, and these stairs just keep going down. Everybody, watch your step.
Can't see a thing. So this is a seafloor stroll, huh?
Better not be. You'd hope there'd be more to it than just walking down some stairs in the dark.
It's like the
Ooh.
Deltarune dark thing.
Oh yeah.
That's where they are now.
Here's a light up ahead. Come on, let's hurry up and see what's over there.
They're gonna run into dun 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 Dun, 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 dun,
Playful
dun,
Land
dun, dun.
C4 stroll area.
I'm just looking for the light switch.
Huge. It's like we're really underwater. And it's gorgeous.
Can you redo the previous
Hey.
line before that one? Because I talked over it. The clean 2-word line.
This is me when you said that.
I didn't hear you say the line.
There we go.
It's huge.
No, before
It's
that.
like we're.
That one.
Whoa, cool.
There we go.
Hey, is it just me or does my voice sound weird?
Yeah, it's got like this quiver to it. Hmm? Hey, mine's got the same.
You two sound so goofy. Wait, it's happening to me too.
Give me a second.
He's like getting something,
Nande.
some water so that he can talk into it and make it sound like he's underwater.
Beep 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 beep. Beep 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 beep. Beep beep beep.
Underwater. You sound like you're underwater. Yeah, it's probably supposed to make you sound that way.
This immersion is amazing. Is it magic changing our voices?
Probably. I don't think all this scenery is just projections either.
What do you mean? Oh, that tickles.
What tickles?
What do you think tickles?
10 tickles, get it?
No, not at all.
Cuz, can you explain for Stra? My fun.
10 pickles.
School of Tuna
A
Cans.
squid.
I'm gonna talk about tuna in this chapter.
Tentacles.
School of tuna cans.
Yes, to Amethyst.
Where's the ticket, boys? Mr. Coates?
Just a second. Playful
What are you
Land,
doing?
B-floor stroll area.
What do you mean? Whoa, that tickles. Something just brushed my neck. Hold on, are those fish? There are fish swimming through the air, and I can touch them.
That looks like the one from the game that you used to have.
Which one?
Are they?
The little fish game when you guys were little.
And what kind of game was it?
Like a game with fish just like this. It was, like simple puzzles and stuff like that.
Freddy Fish?
That's probably it.
Sick Amethyst says Freddy Fish.
Oh, I said that before looking.
Are they puppets too? But they seem so lifelike. I don't think puppets can float around so freely like this.
That's probably magic at work throughout the whole room.
No, Throwing, you're like 15 years off. Wait, when did Freddy Fish come out?
I don't know.
It was like the early thousands? Was it in the 90s?
It had to be.
Roland got activated. Freddy Fazbear? Yes, Roland. As far as I'm concerned, they're talking about Freddy Fazbear.
Yes.
I was expecting a few parlor tricks at most, but this is convincing. I'm actually impressed.
Exclamation point.
Right? Aren't you glad you came with us? I'm glad you like it.
Shut up and quit hugging me. You don't gotta get all giddy over it.
Oh, this little angry Grim in the water.
Grim, why are you flailing your angry little arms around?
Angry little arms.
Fish. There are fish swimming right in front of me. This is so frustrating.
Okay, I need to look up when the beep did Freddy Fish come out.
Jack Mom said it.
Oh, she did?
Yeah, read it.
Oh, 1994 to 2001. So, wasn't Five Nights at Freddy's like 2015?
Thereabouts.
Or was it earlier?
You might be right.
Yeah, so I wasn't too far off by saying 15 years.
15 years off, y'all must be ancient.
I remember playing it in like 2004.
FNAF came out like 2014. There's Aru with the facts. Thanks.
Okay, so 1 year off.
Are you trying to catch them? But they're so pretty. Wouldn't you feel bad eating them? This really is amazing. The wooden puppet meets so many different kinds of sea life underwater. I remember thinking how pretty the illustration of this scene was when I first read the story in a picture book. It's one of my favorite scenes in all of Wish Upon a Star. I mean, it was just so vibrant. And here I am, getting to experience it for real. Who would have thought?
Whoa. The first game, Freddy Fish and the Case of the Missing Kelp Seeds, was released in October 1994 for Windows and Macintosh. It became popular enough that Humongous made several sequels between 1994 and 2001, including Freddy Fish 2, The Case of the Haunted Schoolhouse from 1996, Freddy Fish 3, The Case of the Stolen Conch Shell, 1998, Freddy Fish 4, The Case of the Hogfish Rustlers of Briny Gulch from 1999, and Freddy Fish 5, The Case of the Creature of Coral Cove from 2001. Thank you for the whole little lore about all the Freddy Fish games sticking at this.
I do not remember which one that I played, but whichever one it was like my favorite game to play when in 2004 or 2003, however old I was.
Yes.
They really do have all kinds of sea creatures down here, huh? Pink and blue fish, green and black flatfish, purple anemones, even some orange and black goldfish looking ones.
The orange and black one's coming over to me. Tickles, you're a friendly little guy, aren't you? Is it really this gorgeous under the sea? I should ask Azul and the others sometime.
This one looks kind of weird.
Oh.
What is this? A rabbit? A horse?
It's a seahorse. One
Okay.
with
A
It's a
platypus?
seahorse, one with ears and a mane. For some reason,
Very a platypus.
a wooden puppet encounters a lot of strange creatures in the story. It's probably supposed to be one of those.
Look at that huge school of seahorses. They're so cute and teensy. If only I was as small as they were, I could ride on one's back. I bet that'd be a fun way of sailing through the water.
Oh, hey, Grim, check out what's on the other side of the seahorses.
It's a school of big fish with dull colors and a plain old fishy shit. What about them?
Those are tuna fish.
So,
So? Really? That's the opposite of how I figured you'd react.
Hey, Fuzzball, are you actually gonna be that dense? Did you ever stop to consider where the tuna part of canned tuna comes from?
Wait, what?
You could make a lot of canned tuna from those. Hey, with tuna that big, even the bottomless pit of a fuzzball might actually get full.
You mean that's what goes into canned tuna? So there's a whole school of tuna cans swimming right in front of me?
I didn't say that. Wait, what are you doing? Don't bite them.
I gotta see if they really taste like tuna.
He's completely lost control.
Grim, no! It's dangerous to act up inside a park attraction.
Jack, Kaleem, you grab his arms. You get his torso. We're getting him out of here.
Let me go! Come on, let me go! No, my tuna!
Bing, 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 bing. Bing, 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 beep, 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 beep. Beep, beep, boop, beep, 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 beep.
Bum, bum, bada, bum, bum, bum. Tasty looking things. Playful Land Bazaar.
Ugh, we actually made it out. For a second there, I wasn't sure we would.
I wasn't expecting Grim to get that overstimulated the first time he saw a tuna fish.
Man, I wanted to take a bite out of those swimming tuna cans.
So you keep complaining. Let's go already. Let it go already.
Oh, take a look at that, Grim. Those food carts have some good stuff.
Oh yeah? Huh? What's that delicious smell?
Whatever it is, it's giant and it's fried. Is it chicken? No. Going by the smell,
Fried tuna. Get your fried tuna here. What? Tuna? Is that what those tasty looking things are?
seems kind of weird to put a fried fish cart right outside an attraction where you spend the whole time admiring said fish's beauty, but okay.
The old toy maker also finished for tuna to eat. Come have some for yourself.
Those puppets are creepy if you ask me.
I'll take some. Thanks. Here you go, Grim. You wanted tuna, so eat up.
Thanks for the hydrate time stick, Mom.
Ooh, that's what I'm talking about. Hot. That's so good. Crunchy fried batter on the outside and soft tender meat on the inside. This fish just gets tastier and tastier with every bite.
Here, guys. I got enough for everyone.
Pretty good. The oil and the fish both taste fresh. It's crunchy and delicious.
Phew. I was worried for a little while there. Grim looked so let down. If he'd stayed upset the whole time, I would have just felt awful.
This is seriously so good. You should have some too, Kaleem.
I guess if everyone's eating from the same batch. Sure, I'll have a bite. Thanks.
Because usually he has to have his bodyguard who always cooks for him, like taste test. But that's why he mentioned if everyone's eating from the same batch, because people have tried to poison him in the past, and he's gotten poisoned from food.
Wow. Let's see.
You're right. This does have a nice crunch to it. Yum. Ah, but it's so hot. Water.
Maybe if you didn't scarf it down so fast. Hey, Jack, go get us something to drink.
Yes, sir. Okay, I got some drinks. There were lots of options, but this was their top pick.
Glug. Sparkling apple juice, huh?
Thanks. Why is there an umbrella covering the top of the bottle? Doesn't that get in the way of drinking it?
I didn't put it there. It came that way.
That's a serving method I haven't seen before. I'm guessing it's to keep bugs from getting into the bottle.
Oh, that makes sense. This is an outdoor park. That's a smart idea. Here, I got some for you guys too.
Bottoms up. But Fuzzball's been awfully quiet. Is he okay? I get worried when he's not making noise.
Oh, he's just concerned about him.
Ah, that was good.
Whoa, he's already scarfed down 3 servings. Can't believe you ate that much that fast, Grim. It's incredible.
I think I've had enough tuna for one day. Come on, you. Let's go scope out some other good eats.
Oh, leaving so soon? That's a shame. You should swing by our group and hang out some more later.
Hey, you. I'm sure I don't have to worry about you causing any trouble. But you never know what that Fuzzball's gonna do next. You've better find another group and fast.
See you guys around.
Beep, 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 beep.
Guess the connection. Playful Land Bazaar.
Okay, I think we're ready to move on. Where was it you wanted to go, Jack?
Oh, I was thinking.
Well, well. If it isn't our illustrious Night Raven College students. Are you enjoying your time in Playful Land?
Oh, hey, it's Ernesto and Gino. Yeah, we're all having a blast together. We just finished the seafloor stroll, and we're talking about where to go next.
Indeed. In that case, there's something not too far from here I'd like to recommend, if I may be so bold.
Oh, if you've got a wreck, I'd love to check it out. You guys okay with that, right?
Sure, we've got plenty of time, and if it's close by, all the better. Let's go. Let's see what it is.
Suit yourselves.
This is something you'll only find here in Playful Land. I'm sure you'll love it. Right this way, scholars. Come along, Gino. We should be there shortly.
Already? Wow, it was really close by.
What I wanted to show you is this. Jiminy Cricket.
Name all the creatures.
Oh, nice. It's his cat and his fish.
Yeah. I think a standard horse. I don't think that's anything.
Yeah, and there's another horse in the back.
Is this a carousel?
Correct! It's called the Endless Carousel. Like
Oh,
Mario 64's Endless Stairs. Yes.
I bet kids love those adorable mechanical horses. Huh? Not just horses, I see a bunch of other creatures too. A goldfish, a cat,
No, Colleen.
is that a grasshopper? No, wait, a cricket?
Why did Colleen
Oh.
keep going?
I wanted to keep going. I thought you were just saying no because he messed up on grasshopper cricket. Sorry for saying your line. Go ahead.
A goldfish, a cat. Is that a grasshopper? No, wait. A cricket.
Those are some odd choices for carousel animals.
You'd think that, wouldn't you? But these animals are quite popular here in Playful Land. Can any of you guess the connection?
Let's see. Goldfish, cat, cricket. Oh, I got it. They all show up at some point and wish upon a star, don't they?
Correct! And that's why you're the scholar! Bravo! Brilliant! You're an absolute genius! It's exactly as you say. These animals are inspired by the characters that appear in Wish Upon a Star. The goldfish and the cat are the old toy maker's family, and instead, the cricket was the wooden puppet's mentor.
Right. Jamil hates bugs, so you should have seen the look on his face as a kid when he read that the mentor was a cricket. Or the mentor was a cricket. Crickets can't teach people anything. He'd always skip the pages that had the cricket on them.
Wow, who knew a guy as composed as Jamil could have been such a cute kid?
Yep, that takes me back.
The Endless Carousel is universally beloved among our patrons. I thought that as fans of the original Wish Upon a Star, you might enjoy it. Come along now, all aboard!
What? Are you telling me I gotta get on this ridiculous ride with these people?
Going on a carousel at our age is definitely kind of awkward.
Aw, come on. We should all ride it together. It'll be something to remember.
I'm sure you'll love it. In fact, I give it the honest Ernesto guarantee.
Absolutely not. You couldn't pay me enough to get to ride on that.
There it goes. Leona too.
And here I am, riding it anyway. How did I let myself get dragged into this?
I'm not sure how I did either. Not to mention, I'm the biggest guy here. Why am I riding the tiny cricket?
Oh, you all look fabulous! Simply darling! Don't worry, I'll take lots of pictures on Kaleem's smartphone. Go on, Gina. Get some video on Jack's phone.
Thanks, guys. I'll make sure to post all this stuff on Magicam later.
Not if I delete it first.
Ha ha ha! The Endless Carousel isn't over yet. Not by a long shot. Enjoy the ride! It really is forever. It really is endless.
No need to hold back. Playful Land Bazaar. That carousel sure felt like it was never going to end, all right?
Can't believe I let myself get talked into going on a kiddie ride.
I got so many good pics out of that. I'll make sure to send them all to you guys later.
Delete them right
Delete
now.
them right now.
What's next on the agenda, gentlemen?
Well, I was looking at the map and thinking I'd like to check out this brawling bungalow.
Stacy says Kaleem is so me-coded. Taking photos of everything.
Yeah.
Send me
You remember that?
Send me one photo you've taken, Stacy. Recently. And what did you say, Fastra?
There's in that same video where it showed the destroying building.
Yeah.
It showed they could go into a fighting club looking thing.
Uh-huh.
And then like the guy says like, "Hey, let's go in here."
Why?
To watch them beat them up.
Okay.
Oh.
Yeah, that kind of thing. I don't remember the exact words though.
Stacey said, "No, weirdo." Oh. How could you say that? How could you say that?
So that's where you wanted to visit. What a tough sounding name.
Ah, the Brawlin' Bungalow. I can't think of anywhere more perfect for you to go. Allow me to take you there. Right this way. Hey, is that what it looks like?
Playful Land, Brawlin' Bungalow.
This is where
I
Stacey
don't
hangs out. She just beats people up here.
I remember it was a tent. I don't know if it had those big people on it though.
Huh. You said it's in the same video, right?
Yeah.
Let me check.
Beep beep.
No, it has like a big guy on it. Here, I'll show it on the stream.
Hurry, 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 hurry!
The Rough House, the Rough House. It's the roughest, toughest joint you ever seen. Come in and pick a fight, boys.
Oh boy, a scrap!
Oh, I
Come on, let's
see.
go and poke somebody in the nose.
Why?
Just for fun of it.
Okay, Lampy.
This scene was creepy as heck. Nightmare fuel. You mean the Pinocchio one? You watch Pinocchio? Let's go, Pinocchio. You're a real Pinocchio-er. Yeah, it definitely has some kind of creepy parts, for sure. You did watch it? That's epic. Ooh.
Oh, cool. This looks rad.
That there is the nightmare-inducing Brawlin' Bungalow. Inside it, rugged visitors like yourselves can put your strength to the test. Throlin says, "Isn't every older Disney scene creepy?" Yeah, they had some creepy stuff back then.
Yeah.
Literally.
Oh, yeah? That sounds perfect for you, Jack. You totally come out on top.
On top of what exactly?
No idea. But it doesn't matter, because Jack can beat anyone and anything.
Oh, plus the scene where he turns into a donkey. Terrifying. Yeah, and being like, what the? Yeah, you're so right.
And
Here, you will test your limits against machines.
The last thing before he turns fully donkey, he's calling for his mom.
Yeah.
Like, Mom, help!
Forgot about that. No, Fastra.
You gotta help me!
Yeah.
These machines gauge your strength with punches, kicks, mallet swings, and more.
Stacy should so do that.
Compete for the high score. See, it spells it out here on the signboard.
Okay, you
Who's
sounded like
Bobby
Bobby
Hill?
Hill then? You don't know who Bobby Hill is?
No.
He's a little
King of the
guy.
Hill?
Do the voice you did, Fastra. Yeah,
You
King of the
gotta
Hill.
help me.
Well, why, Bobby? What are you having trouble with? Damn it, Bobby! King of the Hill, yeah. Fastra, are you familiar with Bobby from King of the Hill?
I've never even seen a single second of King of the Hill.
Do I look like I know what a JPEG is? That boy ain't right. Yes, I have seen some of it, but not very much. I do know about Damn it, Bobby. You guys can say that to me whenever I do something. Damn it, Bob.
Yup, it said on the map description that the puppets are equipped with specific instruments to measure all this stuff. And they keep records of the results.
Just so, there's also a fabulous prize for anyone who beats a certain score. Namely, 1/10 scale plushies of the puppets at the entrance.
I don't want any plushies.
Aw, that's not Stacy.
But if Playful Land's a traveling park, that means there'll be records from challengers all over the world, right?
Yep, definitely not me coded.
I'd like to see how I measure up against them. And I'd like to see how you do, Leona.
Oh yeah? You want to compete with me? You've got guts.
My. A competition between Jack and Leona. This will be a fine contest indeed. You're sure to attract quite the crowd of onlookers. By all means, challenge one another to your heart's content. Don't worry about breaking the machines or anything either.
Really? You're cool if it comes to that? Oh, in that case, no need to hold back. I'm gonna give this all I got.
Wow, everyone is getting super into this. It does look a ton of fun. It does look like a ton of fun. So count me in too.
You should sit this one out. You don't exactly know how to throw a punch. If you hurt your hand, some people never let me hear the end of it.
Oh, I disagree. Someone as bright and flashy as Kaleem could draw lots of attention. It would liven things up, guaranteed. What would you say to starting things off with some arm wrestling? I'll be the referee.
Arm wrestling, huh? That sounds great.
I guess that's less hazardous than a novice trying to smack down with a hardened machine.
Okay, let's get in there and get wrestling. I won't let either of you guys win, you know.
Yeah. Tell you what, since you're all motivated, I'll rescue you with just my forefinger.
Dang.
Something funny, Jack?
Oh, I was just thinking that, despite everything, you're having a good time here after all.
Excuse you? In what world do I seem like I'm enjoying myself?
I mean, your usual reaction to stuff like this is to be all like, what a pain, this stinks, I don't wanna, I'm taking a nap, or whatever.
Is that seriously what you think I sound like?
Leona to a T.
Yeah, see? But you haven't said anything like that today. That means you're not totally opposed to being here, right?
It's not like that. Wait, maybe it is? Shh. You can wipe that stupid grin off your face. You've got no room to talk, Jack. Normally, you'd be going, I'll be fine by myself. I'm not going to follow the herd. But here you are, humoring Kaleem and letting him dictate your pace without a word of complaint. If anything, you seem like you're enjoying the park as much as a dog who loves walkies.
Stacy
What?
takes her pets on walkies.
I am not. I mean,
Ha ha ha! I'm so pleased to see you all having fun here. Amusement parks are meant to make everyone's spirits soar, no matter who they are.
Yeah. Everywhere you look, there's something awesome to see or do. Park's the best. But honestly, I don't even need all the rides and stuff. I've been having tons of fun just standing around waiting in line.
Colleen would
Guess
like
that's
a
because
convention then.
What?
Colleen would like going to a convention then.
Oh yeah.
because I'm with my friends. Huh? What's wrong, Leona? You got a funny look on your face. Did you swallow something gross? And your shoulders are all slumped, Jack. Are you tired from all the walking? Should we find a bench and rest for a bit?
I'm feeling all the fight drain out of me just looking at your oblivious face.
My. Perhaps this means Kaleem actually wins the test of strength. Ha ha ha. That boy ain't right. You got Jack.
Hey!
None of the none of those are your characters, are they?
Uh-huh. They're not.
What the?
Taitoru wa?
Give me a sec. Okay. A foxtail. Playful Land. Gentle Plaza. So are you guys cool with hitting up the roller coasters first, right?
I was hoping to get a ride on a suitably thrilling one myself.
Huge same. Your top pick was Whale Escape, right?
Looks like that's the biggest roller coaster in the park. We definitely gotta make sure to ride the main attraction.
Who's this?
You.
I don't remember how I read it.
Eh.
I'll go wherever you guys want to go. They all look like a blast. Looks like the coasters are at the edge of the park, according to the map. We're in the Gentle Plaza right now, at the center. Boy, that's a walk.
Are you young scholars about to make your way to the roller coasters, perchance? If you are, I'd suggest taking a carriage ride.
A carriage?
Oh yes, there should be one coming back to the plaza soon. Ah, here it is now. This carriage is the most convenient means of transportation within the park proper.
Whoa, there's no engine or anything. It's drawn by real life horses.
Are those the horses that were once boys?
Are horses this small? I feel like the ones in the school stable are taller.
Why is Trey so light? High pitched. Like, oh.
Because I couldn't remember how he speaks.
Pretend he's a Reese.
It doesn't help.
You remember how Battle 2 sounds?
Hmm. Well, who's Cater?
Me. I was waiting till we were done speaking.
Oh.
Yeah, the ones at school are definitely bigger. But these are some cute little guys.
This is a replica of a carriage that the friendly fox helped the wooden puppet ride.
Ah, then those aren't horses at all. Draft animals, that is, animals intended to pull wagons, vary across different times and places.
That's right! We try to recreate Wish Upon a Star as faithfully as we can here. including the part where the wooden puppet shared a carriage ride to the park with a merry band. Oh, how excited he must have been! I'm sure all of you will experience that same anticipation as you make your way to Whale Escape.
Sounds good to me. Not to mention convenient. Let's hop aboard.
Ah, it seems you're its only passengers. Would you mind if we joined you? I could show you more of Playful Land's sights on the ride over.
Go for it. Welcome aboard.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of visitors for a weekday. Playful Land seems lively indeed.
It certainly is. And we have everyone from Sage's Island and surrounding areas to thank. They say the wooden puppet's hometown was a bustling place filled with children's voices. So of course we'd like this park to be the same way. Ha ha ha!
I see food and merch stands everywhere. Not to mention the stalls handing out balloons. It's fun just looking at it all. Oh, guys, check out that cart there. It's got a puppet running it, like the gate at the entrance. That puppet's movements are practically human.
Yes, yes. The puppets are invaluable Playful Land staff indeed. Hmm.
Mm.
And here we have... Excuse me, you there. I'll take 4, please.
Huh? You're leaning out of the carriage now? Beginning.
Here you are. A gift for each of you.
What's this? A fox's tail.
Just so. It's an accessory themed around the friendly fox. You can hang it from your waist or wrap it around your neck. I hope having matching accessories will enhance your experience at the park.
The tail's orange with its white tip. It's soft and pretty big.
Ooh, this is nice. Having matching items totally ups our group cohesion for better camability. Aru has something to say.
Okay, friends, it's time for me to down 30 milliliters of NyQuil and vanish from this realm for the next 8 to 10 hours. Hopefully that helps you get some relief, Aru, and hope you get some good sleep, because you definitely need it right now. Hope you all have a nice night. Thank you, and you too. Get well soon, buddy, and hopefully the NyQuil helps. Good night, Mr. Aru. I appreciate it.
And thank you. Yeah, thank you for coming even though you were sick.
For sure. Hey.
Feel better soon, homie. Thanks a ton, Mr. Falworth. Hater is the only one I cannot decide on a voice for him. I can't. He's unknowable to me. He's just Guy.
Please, no need to be so formal. Just call me Ernesto. Way easier, right?
I'll take one of those as well. Give it a quick wrap around my neck, and there. How's this? Aren't I cute?
Why, you look amazing! Cute and gorgeous at the same time. Boy, do I know how to pick 'em.
I'll use mine as a cell phone strap. It'll make using my phone all the more impactful. Why do I hear myself faintly echoed?
No.
Who's that coming from?
Him.
Hold on, let me figure it out.
Okay.
There. I finally got it to show up on my laptop after all this time
Nice.
Oh yeah.
because it was updating and a million updates.
I see.
Sure will. I think I'll wrap mine around my wrist. That should show it off nicely, since I'm always moving my hands. As for me,
You should put yours here, AC.
huh? My belt?
Yep. That way you can look like you've got a was it Bona or Bona?
Bona.
Bona fide tail.
Wow. Yeah. Looks like I really have one. I feel like it makes me the odd guy out, though.
Stacy.
No, Stacy. No, I just didn't know how to pronounce it.
Fast drop.
Ban Stacy for 35 seconds.
You shouldn't have said it, Fastra.
I didn't.
Roland, you mean Fastra thinking of the wrong thing.
No, I didn't even say that.
Stacy just typed what she heard.
No, her brain impacted her thoughts, so they like came out. It was like that was like her inner thoughts.
Oh no, Fastra, don't ban me.
I have the power.
Ban hammer on Stacy. No.
Nah, it's cool. Why worry about being the odd guy out when you're here to have fun? Besides, it's totes adorbs. No, I've been out-cuted. Alas and alack.
Why did he say that?
Okay. Now you're both teasing me.
I'm a good noodle. She's quoting Bob the Punch now.
I'm sure. I'm sure it's friendly on their parts.
We took down a gold star from your board, Stacy. Yep, throwing said a naughty noodle.
Sorry. Having digged look, you kid, on your face is just too funny.
Indignant?
What did she say?
Yes?
I couldn't. Well, I didn't hear that, but I'm sure she said it.
Yeah. I'll take a really good shot of you. Come on. Cool, right?
I believe we should be coming up on Whale Escape now.
Have some good food, Throlin.
Oh, I shall be back. Food is calling my name. Definitely. You got this, Roland. Go eat some good food. And the story will be back shortly.
Yeah.
Und of a kind.
One of a kind. Playful Land, catch the star. Oh man, that roller coaster over there is even bigger up close. This is gonna rock.
I know it's kind of late to ask, but Trey, you are cool with thrill rides, right?
Sure. I've been on my fair share of them on family park trips. I'm sure you're all being good sports about this. I'm glad you're all being good sports about this. Oh, hey, I'm getting a Magicam DM from you and Grim. They're headed over to meet up with us, and they want to join us for the ride.
Oh, nice.
Guess we can wait for you and Grimmy here then.
There's got to be something we could do to pass the time, though. Oh, I know. Why don't we ride the Ferris wheel? It is right here and all. I don't normally go on those, but there's no line right now, so it works out perfectly.
Excellent idea. I do enjoy Ferris wheels. The views they give you from the top are incredible. It looks like the gondolas fit up to 6. What do you say, Ernesto? Gino, care to join us?
Are you sure we wouldn't be intruding?
Of course I am. Why, this is a perfect chance for us to get to know you better.
And I suppose we can join you. Are you okay with that, Gino? Mm-hmm.
Great, let's go.
Enjoy your time on Catch the Star, the ride that takes you up so high you could pluck one of those twinkling lights right out of the sky.
Oh, it's moving.
Wow.
Can't believe they're so high up that they're like above cloud level.
Dude, this view's amazing.
They are.
I can see out over the ocean from my seat. What a way to remind me this is all on a ship.
Let me see. Oh, you're right. The sun reflecting off the water is dazzling. At this time of morning.
Come to think of it, wasn't there a part in Wish Upon a Star about a voyage at sea? Yeah, there was. The hero embarked on a whole adventure and even went into a whale's stomach to find the old toy maker.
The puppet goes to rescue him when he's stuck inside the whale with no food, right?
Yeah, that's it. When I first heard that story as a kid, I remember wondering, wouldn't he end up getting digested way before he had to worry about starving?
Yeah.
For whatever reason, I could never suspend my disbelief that far. You got that caught up on biology not making sense in a fairy tale? Guess you've always been the pragmatic type.
Children pick the oddest details to fixate on. Hey, AC, wanna swap seats with me? I'm sure the ocean's gorgeous, but my side's got a great view of Playful Land.
You're cool with swapping?
Totally. Gotta be nice to the cute little freshies, you know?
Thanks. Wow, you weren't kidding. You can see the whole park from here.
You can even
Seeing
see
it
the
from
Ferris
above,
wheel
really.
that they're on.
Yeah.
Seeing it from above really drives home how huge this place is. It might even be as big as the Night Raven College campus.
Come on, that's exaggerating. No way it's actually that big. Considering all the attractions it packs in, I can see how it would appear to go on forever.
Okay, so that's Gentle Plaza in the center. What's that big rooftop over to the left?
Oh, that's the theater where the shows are held.
Dang. If it looks like this big from all the way up here, it must be ginormous on the ground.
It certainly is. It's a place where stars are born, so it has to be suitably grand.
And past that, is it because the gondola's gotten lower? I can't see the port past the wall at all. It struck me at the entrance too, but the walls surrounding the park are really high, huh?
They are, yes. Playful Land is a giant ship in water, so as you might imagine, it goes through its fair share of storms. The walls are made extra high to safeguard the park from giant waves.
The phrase traveling park makes it sound pretty convenient, but I guess maintaining it can't be all that easy.
Just so. Which is why it's a point of pride for us that this park is one of a kind. We're circling back to the ground now. Everyone, get ready to disembark. To be continued. Nice stickers, codes.
No cutting in line. Whale escape. That Ferris wheel was a lot more fun than I expected. Let's see if you and Grim have an ETA.
Hey! Over here!
Oh, hey, you're here already. Glad you made it.
I only just got here. I'm ready to ride.
Look at all those people waiting to ride the roller coaster. Let's add ourselves to the queue, shall we?
Oh, what brave souls you are! You're the spitting image of the fairy tale hero, with how boldly you're facing Playful Land's whale escape.
It looks thrilling.
I suppose it would. Aside from the ride's scare factor, its main distinction is how long it goes on for. It's based on a scene where the wooden puppet challenges the Whale King.
I knew that's who the giant whale on the rack was meant to be.
That's the part we were talking about on the Ferris wheel, wasn't it? When the old toy maker got stuck inside the whale's belly?
That's right. The Whale King was so massive, people thought it was a monster. And, as the tale has it, it could swallow anything in the ocean. This roller coaster takes you through every twist and turn of wooden puppet. Through every twist and turn of wooden puppet and the old toy maker's daring escape.
How did they get out anyway?
In the story, the whale coughed him up.
Huh. Sounds like that Whale King was nothing but a big old softy. Now me? I'd never cough something I swallowed back up. No amount of fleeting could make me.
I imagine there's no escape for anything once it goes down your gullet.
I'm seeing this roller coaster up close. It's huge and spinny and scary. I'm not sure I even want to ride on it now.
Oh my, are you getting cold feet? You would very much be missing out. I can guarantee you'll have a blast. Don't worry. It's nothing to be scared of.
Yeah, okay. How bad could it be? I'm going. So you're coming too, you.
Easy there, Grimmy. We still have to wait our turn. No cutting in line.
My. You really are excited for the roller coaster, aren't you? You know what? I'll give everyone in line a heartfelt apology, so you all just go on ahead.
That feels kind of wrong. But who am I to say no if you're offering?
Proceed in a double file line.
And here's your car now. On that note, I should be going. Enjoy the rest of your time in Playful Land.
Sure thing. Thanks for being our tour guide. All right. Guess we better hop on.
Mm-hmm. Time to ride this roller coaster straight into the belly of the beast.
Oh. We're going on it.
Would you want to go on it?
Yes. I think I would do pretty good.
Quite an ordeal. Whale escape.
Congratulations on making it out of the dark belly of the whale alive. Thank you for riding Whale Escape. Have a whale of a time in the rest of Playful Land.
Is that how you'd react to that announcement?
Yeah.
I'd roll my eyes.
What?
Roll my eyes. Dude, Playful Land's roller coasters
Stacy
are
says,
so...
I'm gonna head out now. Good night, friends. Good night, Stacy. Thanks for sticking around for a while. It was fun to have
thank you.
here. And hopefully next stream you don't get banned from my chat. Thank you, though. I really appreciate it. Enjoy the rest of your stream. Thank you, I will. We will have fun to the end of this session. I'll make sure I do. I see. Well, good luck with that.
Awesome! Scary!
That was quite an ordeal.
Ernesto wasn't kidding about it being a long ride. We must have been on it for 10 minutes at least, don't you think?
Wow.
Easily more. It took forever. There was never a single second we weren't swinging left to right or going upside down. I lost count of how many loop-the-loops we went through. I couldn't tell which way was which by the time it was all said and done. No kidding. This nonstop feels from start to finish. I could ride that all day. That bit at the end where the roller coaster barely escapes under the whale teeth seriously gave me goosebumps. Those spiky white things, you mean?
Exactly the same.
Those spiky white things, you mean? I was wondering what they were supposed to be. You were? Kind of hard to see them glinting in the light like that and think they could be anything but teeth. Actually, they suggested people take their glasses off to avoid losing them, so my vision was pretty blurry. Whale teeth aren't something you get to see every day. I missed out. You were terrified on the ride. Did you still wish you could have seen the thing's teeth?
Okay, it was definitely exciting and lasted a good while, sure. But that pool halfway through, we totally dove underwater, right? They warned us we might get splashed, not soaked all the way through.
Oh yeah, the part where we escaped the whale's mouth into the ocean. You and I were sitting in the front row, so we got the full brunt of it.
Yeesh, I was totally unprepared, so I didn't have to do anything to protect my poor smartphone. I thought it was a waterlogged goner for sure.
Wasn't it messed up when we escaped the whale's mouth only to start rolling back into it again?
Talk about a fake out. I was not expecting the roller coaster to go backwards. That freaked me right out. Whoa, Grimmy? Why do you look so much smaller and less fluffy than before?
He's soaking wet. Ah, you look like a drowned rat, literally.
I hate getting wet. But it was the gusts of wind that really got me. I thought I was gonna get blown off the ride.
Oh, yeah. The tailwind when we escaped the whale was pretty strong.
Was that to make us build up speed? We were so gay. We were so going fast, it was like the whale had sneezed us out or something.
That wind lifted me up in the air. If Lilia hadn't held me down, I might have gotten blown off for real.
Is this thing really safe to ride?
And maybe have
You
one
know,
of those, like,
Lilia.
you have to be this tall or taller to ride, and Grim was not tall enough. But he's still
Oh, yeah.
You know, Lilia, I've been wondering about what you said earlier. What was such an ordeal?
Remember the way there were tuna fish splashing about the inside of the belly of the whale?
Oh, the ones that the old man fishes up after the whale swallows them?
Yes, those. Grim found them quite appetizing. So much so he started pitching a fit.
So much for being in danger, Grim.
Hey, this was before the wind. Leona mentioned earlier that was the fish that they used for canned tuna. When I pictured all those fish as canned tuna, I just couldn't stop myself.
I tried to tell him they weren't real, but he kept leaning off the side and trying to catch them. Stopping him was no small feat. When I think of you keeping this ferocious beast in line day in and day out, I can only imagine what a laborious task that is. If you're struggling, don't take it upon yourself. Come to me whenever you need help.
All of that was happening in the back row, huh? I was sitting in front of you guys with you, but I'm pretty sure neither of us noticed at all.
Wake up.
How was it for you, actually? Got any thoughts after the roller coaster ride? It was a blast. Sure, I knew you'd appreciate it. If we have this time later, want to go again with me? Just me? That was seriously fun.
Oh yeah, guys, we gotta go check out the spoils.
Oh, good call. You can't ride a roller coaster without checking those out.
What?
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 Two more chapters. Let's see what they say if we say it's terrifying. Look what Throlin has acquired.
I have acquired my food. I know I said I was on a budget, but that buffalo chicken strip sandwich from Whataburger was calling my name. Oh,
Hey.
that sounds really good, Throlin. Hope you enjoy your buffalo chicken strip sandwich. Oh, that sounds great. I could use one.
I like Whataburger fries
That too.
and the cookies.
That too.
Did you already read this, Dowel Guy, or are you sleeping?
I was not sleeping. It was bad for you too. I was hoping to get someone to come with me for another go around on it later. Once was more than enough for me. If you guys go again, you and I will wait down below. Super scary. Playful Land, whale escape.
Oh yeah, guys, we gotta go check out the spoils.
Oh, good call. You can't ride a roller coaster without checking those out.
What?
Oh, didn't you guys notice? We got our pictures taken on the ride.
We did?
We did?
They take pictures on these things? If I'd known, I would have struck a cool pose.
I didn't notice either. You two have a good eye.
Oh, it's a standard feature on these rides. This one was timed to go off right before we dove into the water.
Couldn't you have told us this before the ride? No way. Where's the fun in that? Oh, look. Our pictures are up on the monitors over there.
Let's see. Whoa, hold on. Does Trey's face look super scary or what?
You're glaring right at me. You're glaring right at the camera in this shot. You must have really not wanted to ride. You could have said something. That's not it. I wasn't glaring. I was squirming. I couldn't see,
What?
remember? Squinting. If I'd known I was going to be on camera, I'd have tried to control my expression more.
And check out you next to him.
I nailed it.
Oh, talk about photogenic. You look like a seasoned influencer. The way you placed your gaze and angled yourself in the frame.
Okie
Hey, look at that. Lily and Grim look way funnier than me.
What's that, Trey? Are you trying to dodge the subject by turning attention to me?
Hey, he's got a point. You guys do kind of stand out.
Look at the way Lily is desperately holding down that ball of fur.
Hey, the wind blowing back my fur so hard, you can't even see my face.
I knew that ball of fur was you right before you got soaked, Grimmy.
This is actually impressive. I've never seen Lily looking this serious normally, not even during classes or exams. That's kind of funny in its own right.
You laugh, but it wasn't funny at the time. Considering he came here to have fun, I wouldn't have felt right hurting him, but it sure was hard wrangling him gently. And what did I get for all my trouble? Grim mistook me for a tuna and bit me. See this?
Whoa, you've got bite marks on your arm.
This is embarrassing. I prefer to come out cute in all my pictures.
Meanwhile, you and Ace make it look easy. I'm green with envy.
Wake up.
Why are the both of you holding up your hands in that fashion?
We wanted to make a heart shape together.
Yeah, we worked that plan out beforehand.
Ace, I see you're even winking. You look like a celebrity. How is that fair? You trying to steal my spot?
No, I'm doing nothing of the sort.
We definitely knocked this pick out of the park, though, if I do say so myself. The shot was right before we hit the water, so I didn't have the presence of mind to do anything cute with my expression. I'm jelly.
You must think you're hot stuff, Ace.
Look, thrill rides are all machines designed to be totally safe. I don't get why anyone would actually be scared.
Okay, point. But seriously, it's like you got nerves of steel. Wake up.
Yes? You were way too bold talking with Riddle yesterday, too.
I suspect that's your age at play. Oh, how wonderful to be so young.
Well,
Come on now. You're only
you got
2
work
years.
tomorrow.
I know, we only have 2 more chapters. You're only 2 years ahead of the guy. No need to talk like an old grandpa.
I'm doing that. So, guys, want to get these pics printed to mark the occasion?
Oh, for sure. I gotta get my hands on a physical copy of this perfect shot right here.
I suppose squinty faces and goofy looks still make for fond memories. I'd like a copy myself.
You'd have them printed even if one of us said no, wouldn't you? Fine. I'll go get copies for all of us. This is Tops. Playful Land will escape. Man, I've sure worked up an appetite after all that fun. The map says there should be a food vendor around here somewhere.
Oh, is it that over there? Is it that? Is that it there?
Wow, that all looks so good. There's chicken if you want savory food, frozen treats if you want something sweet. And pie, cherry pie to boot, my favorite.
Step right on up and feast your eyes on my wares. I have cakes, pies, ice cream, and more.
More is right. There's a ton of stuff here, even lots of different cakes.
It's all you can eat and all for free. Free lunches for everyone. Come and get it quick. Hurry!
How did you even read it that fast?
I was locked in.
Didn't you eat right before you met up with us?
I ain't had any pie or chicken or ice cream yet, and I definitely haven't gotten to try every type of cake.
Geez, you're a glutton. Excuse me, I'd like some cherry pie. Whoa, you're giving me the whole pie? This thing is huge. It smells so nice and sweet, though. I think I might just bite right in. Here goes. Oh, that's good. The cherries inside are nice and tart, just like the way I like them. And there's a more intricate flavor here, too. I've never tasted anything like this before. Let me try a bite. I can taste the cinnamon and cloves in the filling. There are crushed nuts, too. The taste and texture are both wonderful. What a delicious pie. I was wondering why the flavor struck me as so refined. I guess it was the spices. And you could tell all of that from a single bite? Sometimes a pie with a strong, distinctive flavor is just the thing. I should do some research and try making this at Hartslebule.
Hey.
That's what I'm talking about. Oh, you should try some too, you. Don't mind if I do. What do you think? Good, right? Ray was right about the filling having nuts in it. It's got a nice crunch.
Pies are impressive, but look, they're also selling whole roasted chickens. What a hearty offering indeed. Normally, vendors only sell the parts that are easy to hold in your hand, like a drumstick. Usually, you'd only see the whole chicken for some sort of celebration or a special occasion. That's totally cammable. Yep, this tastes great too. The skin's cooked to crispy perfection, while the inside's juicy with a nice peppery zing. This is my kind of food.
And it's all free. This is tops! Hey, give me some of that pink ice cream there. Ooh, it tastes like strawberry milk. It's cold and sweet and good. Now to compare all these cakes.
Grim is very much in the prime of his youth.
So once we're done eating, where to next? We've still got time before we have to meet up with the other groups. AC, shouldn't you look for a souvenir to bring back for Ducey?
Leaving aside the questions of whether I even get him anything, picking out souvenirs should come at the very last. There are tons of rides we haven't been on yet. Why would I get extra stuff to carry around now? Fair enough. That makes sense. You gotta travel light, you know. And we still have to hit up that roller coaster one more time to cap it all off. I think I'm good here.
You've got way too much energy, AC. He certainly does. Yet another striking reminder of our age difference.
Yay!
Cleared. Book cleared.
Look at that.
Great stuff, everybody.
So, oh good. And then that means I can take the lessons that I need for before we continue.
Oh. Yes, 25 lessons. Perfect.
You can do that right now.
Yes. Yeah, like for book 2, for what we just did, I had to do 25 lessons for each area.
Oh.
Oh.
Yeah.
I cleared them all out, so we're able to read everything.
Hey. Epic straw.
It's a lot of work. Thank you.
What was your favorite part? What was your favorite section?
They're going through the area with the water where they saw the fish
Oh yeah.
swimming around.
I would say ortho dominating at pool.
I probably would have wanted to go with this group. The ride. As long as or do you think it'd be dizzy inducing?
Maybe. I don't think so.
Because I get dizzy super easily.
Mm-hmm.
おい、ギデル、見たかここの
Alright, here's the last thing.
Hey.
I already have all of them, but that's okay.
Oh, I see.
おい、ギデル、見たかここの食堂の豪華さといったら、今のうちに食えるだけ食っとけよ。
Alright, y'all. That was fun, and I'll see you next time for some more twisted dubbing.
Yay!
For sure. That was a lot of fun.
Yes. Alright, if you ever find yourself facing against a perfect robot who's sinking all the shots in pool, then you take care out there.
Take care out there.